wake up, believe.
Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling.
Wake up, believe. Wake up, believe.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's not so it no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's all we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WUB. And all the things that will feel happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victim.
Welcome, this is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Friday morning. It is the 8th day of May 2026. I'm Nuri Muhammad, and we welcome you to the program this morning. As you know, we go through certain steps before we get into the main course, which starts a little after 7. We do have double guests coming in this morning, and we make sure that we bring you up to date before we get into the main course. We go to I'm not sure who the forecaster is this morning, but we'll get an update on the weather from that forecaster. And then we'll bring you the package prepared by our news center. Let's go now to the forecaster.
Good morning. Radar imagery showed the country remain free of any significant shower activity overnight. Warm and mostly dry conditions are expected to continue over the area. The forecast is for sunny skies with cloudy spells today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Little to no rain is expected. High temperatures are expected to reach about 90 Fahrenheit along the coast, 96 Fahrenheit inland, and 85 Fahrenheit up in the hills. Tonight, temperatures are expected to drop to about 82 Fahrenheit near the coast, 74 Fahrenheit inland, and 68 Fahrenheit up in the hills. Winds are from the east to southeast at about 10 to 20 knots with occasional higher gusts. Sea conditions are expected to be choppy to moderate. A low tide can be expected at 7:30 this morning, and high tide occurs at 9 minutes to 2 this afternoon. The moon will set at 12 minutes to 11 this morning, and the sun will set at 15 minutes after 6 this evening. The outlook is for hot, windy, and mostly dry conditions on Saturday, except for the chance of isolated thunderstorms over the mountains during the afternoon or evening time. Saturday night is expected to be warm, windy, and dry. And in the sargassum forecast, latest satellite data and surface observations suggest that sargassum has decreased somewhat over the past few days. However, a few mats are still expected to drift ashore during the coming days, producing moderate impacts on beaches across the country. And that concludes this morning's weather report and forecast produced at the National Meteorological Service. More information is available on our website at nms.gov.bz and on the Belize Weather app. Do remember to stay hydrated today as you go about your business.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And we thank Ms. Michelle Agostine for our report this morning. And now for our news. When High Court Justice Patricia Farnes delivered her August 2023 ruling on the Belize Sugar Industry's challenge of the Sugar Industry Act, the decision was deemed to be seismic. Now that the Court of Appeals has overturned the decision, it's being hailed as a big win for the government of Belize. BSI and a cane farmer filed a constitutional challenge considering the sanction of, The BSI and a cane farmer filed a constitutional challenge considering the section of the act were outdated and burdensome. In the case of BSI, the attorneys Godfrey Smith, Hector Guerra, and Edgar Lard argued that annual levies paid by the company and the Cane Farmers Association to cover operating costs of the Sugar Industry Control Board and associated entities constituted unlawful and unjustifiable deprivation of property. According to Senior Counsel Smith, the levies amounted to around $1 million annually. However, the appeals court found no breach. The government argued that the monies were collected by public authorities performing public functions in the interests of the public, given the importance of the sugar industry to Belize's economy. Regarding an export levy of $11 per ton of sugar produced, the Court of Appeals upheld Justice Farnes's determination that BSI did not prove it had paid anything to the board, while Justice Farnes ruled that the cane farmers' right of freedom of association was breached due to requirement to join a farmers' association to deliver sugar cane. The Court of Appeal pointed out that the Act does not make membership compulsory. The High Court judge also ruled that the cane farmers' rights were violated with the requirement that if they fail to deliver at least 75 tons of cane consecutively 2 crop years, they could not be registered as farmer. However, the appellate judges ruled that the Act provides for farmers to give reasons for their inability to meet the requirements, whereas BSI criticized provisions like the board's control over the start of the season, maximum purchase quotas, and others. the Court of Appeals ruled that while the Constitution protects the right to work, it does not prevent oversight and regulations by government. Lastly, the BSI also failed on its claim that the government was not imposing the same requirements on Santander. The Court of Appeals ruled that the burden was on BSI to prove that Santander is not being regulated, and it provided no evidence to that effect. Nonetheless, the appeals court judges noted that policymakers should ensure all entrants into the market are regulated. The government was not successful on a preliminary matter that BSI and the cane farmer brought the claim too late. The government was represented by Attorney General Anthony Sylvester, Deputy Solicitor General Samantha Matut, and Aliyah Gomez. Both parties must bear their own legal cost. Just before the 2025 Christmas break, Parliament rushed two bills to expand protection for survivors of domestic violence. One amendment allows trained senior justices of the peace to issue emergency ex parte protection orders for up to 72 hours when courts are closed. It meant women should be able to quickly obtain protection orders. The provision was envisioned to help during holidays and when the courts are closed. But last week in the Senate, NGO Senator Janelle Chanona reported that the additional protection has not been rolled out because JPs have not been trained.
Madam President, I lament to update this Honorable House that I have confirmed that the training that we approved, the legislation that we approved in terms of getting senior justices of the peace to be in a position to get protection order for women is still pending because the training for those justices of the peace are pending.
The Justices of the Peace Association told Creme News and XTV that only about 1/3 of Belize's estimated 3,000 JPs are active and applications are not coming in from JPs to undergo the training to do the work. A total of 10 senior JPs is being sought for the Belize district and 5 for each of the other districts. These past few weeks have been extremely warm and humid. Despite being a tropical climate, there are quite a few Belizeans who are not fond of water, usually opting for a cold soft drink or even a beer to cool themselves. Emir Castaneda, the health educator at the Corozal Community Hospital, said to truly hydrate, we need to drink water. He gave some tips that could help those who don't often drink water.
How can we stay hydrated? Okay. First of all, we should not be drinking soft drinks or sugary drinks during this time. We should go more with water. Water is the best source for hydrating ourselves. Yes, sometimes we feel like drinking coffee or a sugary drink will help us. Definitely not. It may cause us to dehydrate more. So water is the best to drink during this time of heat. For people who find it difficult to drink water, we can do be creative, like infused water. Infused water is water that you add ingredients to it. natural ingredients to the water, and that ingredients, no sugar, definitely no sugar. That is, when I say natural ingredients, could be fruits you add to your water. For example, we can do the mixture of what we call infused water of just cucumber, water, we add some mint to it, right? And we add some kiwi probably, and that you cut it in slices and you just put it in your water. And if you want, you can even put some lime. You cut some slices of lime and you put it in the water, and that creates a better taste of water. You're still drinking water, but we call it infused water. Hydrating salts are good when you are really dehydrated, but we don't want to be drinking too much of it. Okay, unless if we are really dehydrated, you might take some, but we want to stick more to just water.
Castaneda also shared tips for parents and guardians to keep their children hydrated and cool during the warm months.
It's very important that children that are going to school at this time, during the day, we want to encourage them to take filled water in their water bottles, okay, to have it with them all the time. Whenever they feel thirsty, they can drink from their water bottles. Okay, so we want to encourage them to drink water frequently during the day. Okay, we want to discourage them from having sugary drinks like probably juices, right? We don't want them to be drinking juices, sweet juices at this time, but more just water. During this time, during their really peak time when it's really hot, so we want to avoid physical activities during the hottest time of the day. Okay, so maybe we could encourage them to do it probably in the evenings or something like that, to be out there under the sun. Okay, we also ask them to wear light colored clothing. I think that will help. If you wear dark color, then that attracts more heat from the sunlight.
On Wednesday, the Department of Civil Aviation held a public consultation concerning its proposed regulations on drones and other similar unmanned aircrafts. The department proposes that drones need to be registered and that users need to license in order for them to operate. Stakeholders were concerned that the department was making it more difficult for drone operators to fly their equipment, which would in turn affect their income. Nigel Carter, the Director of Civil Aviation, explained that the regulations are to ensure security and privacy.
The operation of drones, or a group of people operating drones, would tend to be a minority when you look at society on a whole. And so the rules that we set in place look for the greater good for the society on a whole. The issue of small drones with cameras, while you feel that you don't have it should be an issue for us. It's not a safety threat, but there is matters of privacy that are of concern. I'm sure somebody takes a drone, flies up to the bedroom window and starts looking into your room. You would take offense to it. If there's no accountability there, if that phone isn't registered, then we don't know who to reach out to address that concern that you have. And so I want you to not only look at this as a drone operator or a small organization that's trying to come up, for lack of a better word, but do look at it as a citizen that can be affected by the misuse of drones. The regulations aren't necessarily there for people that want to follow the law, but to set a clear guideline for all persons to follow. The rules are not meant to be prejudicial. They're not meant to be biased. They're not meant to disenfranchise anybody, but to create a situation that is across the board for everybody to follow. Particularly those persons that do cinematography and work with people coming on vacation and so forth. I'm sure that you might have heard of influencers coming in or somebody coming in to film this resort or something like that. You may have a concern. How is it that they get to do it and we can't do it? How is it that they're getting the business? Well, what we're trying to do with this regulation is to ensure that there's compliance right across the board, a fair playing field, so that.
All right, that's our news package for this morning, the 8th day of May, 2026. There's an update at 12 o'clock, a little bit after the morning stew, one at 3 o'clock, and on CREM Radio there's a full broadcast at 5:15. Here on XTV we bring you the entire news broadcast at 6 o'clock this evening. It's exactly 7 o'clock in our studio, and we'll take a short break, come back, and we'll begin our conversation for this morning. Please stay with us.
Informative, accurate, current information. CREM's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
Altona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Rock, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and we have an exciting guest that will be coming in later this morning, and we have an artist that will be coming in and visiting us early this morning. She should be here soon. But in the meantime, we'll open the phone lines and give you a chance. If you didn't get a chance yesterday with Dickie, perhaps you may want to call in and make your point this morning. Our number is 280-5848, 280-5848. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Oh, okay. Brother Nuri, you have visitor, I sense. From the moment you're seated at that part of behind the desk. You
know how to look and realize who's coming, right? Yeah, you're right. We do have guests coming in, but you have to make your point real fast because our first guest should be here quite soon.
Yes, Brother Nuri, like one woodpecker. Brother Nuri, I tried 15 yesterday, but the cars were restricted. I know you may open the line, but I had to go up on the last segment. Anyway, I may want to bring to attention that Caesar Ridge pump was shut off because of my point. Enjoy your drink, dear brother. Because of my pointing at its non-usefulness and ineffectiveness, because so you they pump out water into the sea if they come from Halover Creek. Brother Nuri, it is said that they say that action speaks louder than words. I can sense the divide I evaluate with talk show hosts. I cannot say the same at XTV morning show. Never, ever. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, the editorial of Mandela, the Belize, indicated that I should be made of use on a steady scene, to reorder or to say put in order road traffic as per nation jurisdiction.
We have maintained that. We've maintained that for a long time, and I wonder sometimes, Mr. Torres, how we don't. We don't honor local indigenous talent the way. No, we do, but we kind of do it in culture. We do it in sports, but in certain other areas, we feel. And Dickie made the point yesterday. We feel the need to go outside because somehow we are not as good. Now, you have been coming across, but maybe some people would look at you as a nuisance. And this is not my thinking, but I'm saying some people might say, this Balikalia, Idika for almost 20, 30 years, and traffic. No, I'm saying that instead of people saying, the man that makes sense, and particularly our policymakers at the municipal level and at the national level would say, well, something, make we utilize this man. In other words, make we shut him up. We give him a contract, make it do it. And for no one, he can't get up there and say we never give him a chance to express his ideas, etc. But we have said it. I think Moses has said it as much as I have, that you should get an opportunity to at least be in an official position to say these are some of my ideas, and let people vet your ideas. Maybe they want to come up and say, Torres, this no make no kind of sense because of this, and this. They might in fact shut you up. You might get shut up because they might come and say, oh, this thing about roundabout, where you like talk about roundabout, or where you like talk about there's no such thing as an accident, and all them things. They may totally disagree with you. And then what you want to say after that? Call back and quarrel with them that they never accept your positions? No. But at least the way to deal with you in a tennis match is to keep the ball in your court. And I think the way that they can do that is to be able to say...
You said, Brian Nuri, I sense that if they allow me privilege to enter them camp, All right, I will make them look bad. I will stay the score goal.
Yeah, but maybe, Mr. Torres, you are the one where I look bad. That's what I'm saying, is that they should keep the ball in your court and say, oh yeah, you got something to do? Come. We'll give you a 3-month contract even. We want you to sit down in this area, yeah, we're going to put on this tape recorder, and you say everything you've been saying for the last 30 years on talk show. Make we record it, make we run it through some kind of vetting process and see what comes out at the end. That's what we're saying. And I don't understand, but it's not just you. There are other minds. We have a profound thinker that calls here every morning. And I know that she would reject if they came and made an offer to her. But nonetheless, they should still make the offer and say, listen, we would want you to be in a position where all this knowledge that you're sharing every morning on Creme and Love and these other talk shows that you call, we would like you to be in a sort of emeritus position, academia, so that we can draw. And I'm talking about Sandra, and making sure that Sandra gets the opportunity to not just, and you don't want it, I'm saying this because this is not a lady that is looking for recognition. Some people are trying to be discovered. That is not Miss Coy's thing. The way that Sandra Coy talks on the talk show is exactly the way she talks if she meets you in the street and is having a conversation about an issue. She's not a talk show personality. I believe that Sandra just sees this as an avenue by which she can share instead of just one-on-one, that she hoped that maybe multitude of people who listen to the show can
Brother Nuri?
Yeah.
If you allow me, Brother Nuri, I have never met that extremely intelligent, knowledgeable
There's a lot of people that have never. A lot of people.
Anytime she tune in, I tune in too. Because, man, she not only know about history, she's in maths, she's in education, todo. Man, I wish I may be like she.
You know what they call that? You know what they call that in academia? An encyclopedic mind. That means she's got a global, universal vision of knowledge. Yeah. Anyway, we don't want to big out because I'm telling you, she is uncomfortable with this kind of talk what we did right now, and may have some chagrin over us. Anyway, you can't talk to me too long because I got my first guest to walk in now, Mr. Torres.
Okay.
So, but I appreciate your calling. Yeah.
Take care.
All right, my brother. I hope that you will likewise. Anyway, our number here is 280-5848, and we'll accept the call as our guest is being set up here by Mr. Cliff. 280-5848, 280-5848. We are looking forward to an interesting conversation. Our first guest is an entertainer, Jamaican, and she's coming to spend some time for this Mother's Day concert that's coming up. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good morning, Brother Nuri.
Yeah, morning, my brother. Welcome.
Yeah, like to hear Mr. Torres' voice, man.
Yeah.
Consistent, one thing.
Yes, man.
That's a good brother. He's a good brother.
Yeah, man, and humble too, you know. Yeah.
This morning I want to call in to wish all mothers at home and abroad happy Mother's Day.
All right, sir.
Because they are the bedrock of this society. True.
Indeed.
Mothers
play
one of the most important roles. I would have said nearly everybody like mother, woman.
We can't be here without them.
Then I don't joke, no.
Yeah, we can't be here without them, you know.
But you can't run a house like that woman, but I don't know how they do it. My mother raised 7 of us.
Yes.
She washed dirty clothes. I could remember nights after night I come home with 2 pillowcases of dirty clothes for my back.
Yeah.
Late, sometimes after 10:30, 11 at night.
Yes.
After pack water, put it in the bath pan, get it ready. She get up the morning, wash clothes again.
And he do it. He do it.
Man.
Yeah.
And she do it. She was for a hotel.
Yeah.
With a bath pan and a scrubbing board for a hotel for years. When you go back there, like then you throw water over it, they now a step. So she's past now, but man, what she did for us.
Yeah, man.
And she not complain about no single mother. She just do what she has to do.
Yeah.
For her 7 kids.
Yeah.
Man, I have to congratulate her. She's in the grave now resting, but big up, mom.
Yeah.
And to, like I said, to all mothers throughout the world, the whole world, believe and show.
Yeah.
Thanks for your contribution to society.
Yes.
And we love you all. We really, really do. We love you.
Indeed.
Take care, Brother Nuri.
All right, my brother.
Until you hear from me again. And I hope your family is okay.
Yes, they are. They are, and thank God. And, you know, as you said, mother, this is a very special period for us to remember. Yeah. All right, my brother. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, let me introduce our guest, and I won't refer to her as Miss Mackenzie. I'll refer to her as what everybody knows her as. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
All right, good to see you.
Yeah.
You're here for this very special concert.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of background check on you. I found out that you have been an artist for a very long time. You started when you were as early as 8 years old, according to your bio. I hope your bio is
well, I started singing at 8.
Yes.
Right? But I became a professional singer like, let me see, 18 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't look that good. You hold your age well. You hold your age well.
Thank you.
That's good. Well, you have to guide me on some of your songs. I've seen it, and I must confess, unfortunately, I didn't listen to it this morning. But what I hear about you, just from those around the studio, is that let's make sure we go out and see this young lady perform.
Yeah.
And but tell us about your experience. You're born in Jamaica. You spent some time in the States. You went back to Jamaica and got very much involved in roots. You took a trip to Africa.
Yeah.
You've been making music that is very spiritually and conscious music.
Yeah.
I don't want to take me into that because I'm feeling my way, so I'm trying to get you to jump in there.
Well, my first song was about a woman who applied for a job but never got it because she's from the Garrison.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is wrong address.
All right, yes.
And then after
Garrison in the context of Jamaica is like Lake Eye or South Side. We have our own little section that would be called, but a garrison in Jamaica almost is like a military connection in the sense that when you go cross over into certain areas, it's very, people come to the wrong conclusion. You're up on the wrong side of town. So
yeah, you're on the poor side. Yeah. You're on the side where, a little, very little is a lot.
Yeah, yes.
And that song was about a woman from that side who applied for a job and never got it because of where she comes from. Because according to them uptown, they don't want no trouble. Then I went to the Gambia and I came back with a song called Roots. Them can water down and dilute, and it's about like parents in that time not listening to the children, even though the children themselves, we're still holding on to the roots. They just can't see them, so them can't water down and dilute. Them can't hide the truth from the youth. Them can steal the fruit, but not the root. And then I went on to writing songs like I'm Not Afraid and Free and all kinds of stuff. My first album was released in 2008. and now I have 11 albums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been out there for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. What are you looking forward to here in Belize? And what you're performing along with another colleague. So
Yeah.
what are you both looking to leave in Belize? Is this your first time in Belize, by the way?
No, I came here years ago.
Oh, you came before?
Years ago,
All right.
but not as. I don't want to even talk too much because I can't remember exactly. So I'll just say years ago.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm expecting to see Belize come enjoy real reggae music and real performance from people who know how to do it.
All right. Good.
From people who know how to do it.
Yes. I notice you emphasize those words.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which means that bring real reggae.
Oh, we bring it.
Yeah, real reggae.
We bring it. And then, music from Jamaica. It has so much passion, so much story,
Yes.
so much of everything
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be one of those carrying that story through song.
Sure. Yes, making sure. You know, my remembrance of reggae, and I'm talking now really the early 70s, was recognizing that there was a message in the music.
Right.
And we had been listening to a lot of rhythm and blues, we've been listening to a lot of country, we've been a lot of music, but most of the messages were frivolous. Oh, you look good, she looked pretty, I fell in love with her.
Very light.
But then when you start hearing Peter Tosh, when you start hearing Bob Marley,
then you hear the real
when
story.
you start hearing them talking about life stories, etc., set to the music, that you were not just enjoying yourself, but you were learning at the same time. So when you say real reggae, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because not a rundown dance hall, but that no reggae. It might be Jamaican, but you understand me? And it's not a message music, not an uplifting message music. So you bring message to the music.
Right, music that inspires and uplifts.
Yes.
Even from the very young to the old at heart. And that's what I intended to do when I started, and that's what I do now, today, still.
Great. You're living in Jamaica still, or you're in the States?
I live in Jamaica, I'm in the States. I really live in the air because I travel a lot.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So you move around?
I move around.
Let's go. Are you a family person?
I am.
Oh.
I have 3 children. I have 2 daughters, 1 son, he's the oldest one.
All right.
I have a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Very good. Well, this is just a snippet of who you are. This is not an in-depth interview of learning your background and learning everything about you. But in the brief time that you're here with us, and I really appreciate
Thank you for having me.
your ensemble.
Thank you.
But can you give us a little bit, a snippet of what to expect in your performances?
Boy, that unfair.
Well, I don't want to give
because it's just me and you here. And you asked me for a snippet. That's a lot of fire.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I can't light it in here, but
yes.
But I can give you an idea.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
I see them coming after my soul, wanting to take control, wanna give me locks, wanna give me bling, wanna give me all the material things. I hear them talking about what the world has to offer. Girl, can't you see what they have done to Bedouin Marcos, Jesus and a lot of prophets? But I'm not afraid.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm not afraid, no. If them a come, let them come. I'm protected by the Most High One.
It ain't cool to see you come over so heavy. You got me in trouble here now, sister. You got me in trouble. That is wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
And that a cappella.
Yeah.
No need no music.
We don't light the fire yet. We just have the matches and the box.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. All right, tell us, I don't know who is the promoter, but do you know the details of the show itself?
Well, the show is Reggae Sundays.
Okay.
Reggae Sundays. If you know Reggae Sundays, then that's exactly where it's going to be at.
All right.
And it's all white affair.
Oh.
So wear your white.
All right.
You know?
I see you and the other artists, you're both put together and you're in full white.
White, yes, because it's an all-white affair.
All right, very good.
But if still coming up,
All right,
still want to see you.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah, if you don't have no white still come, we want to see you same way.
It's good to see you, Etana.
You say it the right way the first time because that's the African way, Etana. You said it the right way.
Yeah.
Right, but on this side.
That then they spoil me and they tell me no pronounce.
African way. So it is Etana here because we stretch the A, but it's the African way. It's Etana. You said it the right way.
Okay, I feel good. Thank you for reinforcing me because I
heard you say it the first time and I was like, wow, okay.
Yes, that's good. Thank you for being here and we hope all the success with your being here. We have so many artists that come in, especially our Caribbean artists. And we honor them all.
Yeah.
We probably are closer to Jamaican artists than any other group of artists.
Yeah.
We have our strong roots in Jamaica. Many of us have our roots there. My grandfather is from Jamaica. So we have this love, not only for the music, but for the vibe of the Jamaicans. We have a lot of Jamaicans that live
in a way.
In a way. Yeah. So good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And blessed time.
And thank you for allowing us to share.
Sure.
Your
we had to make sure that we put you in here when Mose called and said, please, we had to make sure that you do it.
Thank you.
So as we would greet you in the Gambia, Assalamu alaikum.
You are from the Gambia too?
No, I am from right there, from Belize. But I'm a Muslim.
Yes.
And Gambia is a Muslim country. And so I would know that you would be hearing everybody saying, Assalamu alaikum.
And what do I say in response?
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, which means the same to you as you are greeting me with peace.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We hope that you will come out and see our sister on Sunday at this special event. Now for 2 Cents Cam with Brick City, and it's sponsored by Fort Point Security.
You're watching WUB. This is XTV and 4 Point Security. Big up on yourself for being our #1 sponsor. Big up Friday. Make we go find all the people and big up.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
That you're big up.
That's my big up.
All right. Big up Friday. Who you want big up? You can big up the program. Anybody you want big up?
I want to big up God. I want to big up God for all He's done for us and for all the dots that He has connected to get us here today.
All right.
Friday, I want to big up the whole of Vern's Kitchen. I want to big up the staff of Vern's Kitchen. Whenever you're in St. Bite, guys, you come to Vern's Kitchen. We're always here to serve and always prepare breakfast, lunch, and supper. Whatever you guys want, we're ready. And we're right here. Okay, I want to big up the staff.
Big up Dira would I. The cook.
Big up the cook.
Big up me ma. I'm a baby.
Don't say.
Big up to XTV. Big up to myself. Big up to all the big man there. We're trying to make positive steps in your life. You know, big up Brick. Big up me home boy there. We're trying to do positivity. And I say big up on yourself here.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
This is a learning experience, and this event is all about you guys. Give it a chance. Maybe a competition you partake in sparks a passion in you never knew you had. I had no idea how much I love coding until I actually explored it. We need more girls in IT.
In Belize, analysis supported by UNICEF highlights that girls between 15 and 24 use computers less frequently than boys. Regardless of whether they live in urban or rural areas, regardless of their family situation, their economic situation, or even their level of education. This gap matters because digital access today determines opportunities for tomorrow.
Be Like a Girl was never just about technology. It was about creating a space where girls can see themselves differently, where they can realize they don't have to shrink to fit into spaces. They can grow and transform them, where they understand that they are not just users of technology, but creators, innovators, and leaders.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. We continue to serve you.
When the job calls, you need a truck that works as hard as you do. Strong, reliable, and built for the load. The Jack Freight Truck gets the job done. From the lumberyard to the work site, power your business with confidence. I can count on Jack to get the job done right.
welcome back. We are very happy to return to an interview that we started about 3 weeks ago with Dr. Dorian Barrow. And if you could remember, we had serious technical problems and were not able to continue that interview. But he promised us at the time that if we reschedule him, he would be back with us. And then he's taken even one more step. Instead of us talking to him where he lives out in the Cayo, he's actually decided to come into the studio. So we know got no technical problems that we have to deal with. So we welcome you again, Dr. Dorian Barrow. Dr. Dorian Barrow works directly with Galen University. We'll get into the depth of his responsibility, but we had already introduced him as being responsible for STEM, for AI research, for robotics, and he was deep into that conversation already. But in case you missed that, welcome again, Dr. Barrow.
Well, thank you very much, Nuri. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be here. Moses used to call this place the Lion's Den, right? And of course, you had to fight your way out of it.
Yes.
And I'm quite sure you have maintained that important tradition. It's also important, I think, for us to have a conversation. I've never really had the privilege and pleasure to have a one-on-one conversation with you, even though we have been colleagues for over 30 years.
Well over 30 years. From George Street days.
From George Street days. from when you were not even Nuri, you
was
something else.
I was Bert X. Simon. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into because of our time constraints, and I did want to open the phone lines after we finish our major part of our conversation. I want to go back to looking at exactly what is this thing called STEM. We've been hearing a lot about it, but in my opinion, we have not blended it down sufficiently for people to appreciate what we mean when we say STEM: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So let's start there.
Well, it's a good place to start, and you're right, we have not been successful in communicating effectively what that means to people everyday lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
STEM is a new way of thinking about the world. It's a way of thinking about the world in which you innovate. You innovate, and by innovation we mean you create something that somebody wants to buy, right? You create something that somebody wants to buy. So for example, we work with teachers and we work with schools. There is one school in particular that we work with in the Valley of Peace, the SDA Academy, and it's a wonderful school, small school. I never knew the school existed until I had the pleasure and privilege of working with a teacher there. And so I had to visit the place. And I found out that they were innovating. They found a wild bush, a wild flower that is called the Canavalia flower. It looks something almost like one of these Mayflower kind of seed, right? That pod-like, and they took the seed out of that, and they decided that they were going to apply science, engineering, technology, and even mathematics in order to convert that into something that people can interested in buying. So they made a drink out of it. Called the Canavalia coffee, right? It's a high energy coffee, right? High energy coffee drink from that particular seed. They made a face mask from the same seed. They made soap
Incredible.
From the same seed. And one of the things that impressed me the most was that they were able to make flour bird, some flour Nuri, sorry, out of the seed, right? Flour out of the seed.
So you could actually bake one bread.
Yes,
yes.
yes. As a matter of fact,
Have you sampled it?
Yes, I've sampled it. Not only me have sampled it. My colleagues, they have sampled it.
Yeah.
They have gone back there and buy flour from them, and they have actually made bread. It's a good eating flour, right? It's a good eating flour. Now, what are we trying to do now with them, right? We're trying to see how we could upscale that, right? So we're talking to people like Silkgrass Farms. They have some excellent facilities down there. They do this kind of work, but most importantly, they have labs. They have the capacity now where they can begin to do genetic identification, right?
Wow.
They generate a brand of coffee, right? Cocoa, the cocoa that no other place in the world generates. The flavor profile.
This is a different area than the Valley of Peace.
Yes, this is the Standard Valley, right? And they sell their coffee to exclusively to a coffee maker in France. So this is what we are trying to do with STEM right now, is to get students to be able to apply science, apply technology, apply engineering, and apply mathematics in innovating, in creating something that they can.
As an educator then, don't you believe that part of the blockage, if I could use that simple term, of appreciating STEM is right there in the language itself, the words? Science conjures up in your mind something different than just being an innovator. When you think about technology, you think about machines and things that work.
That's correct.
So the language itself may not be able to let me see that where I am here, I can begin to apply STEM, which is to look at what is there. Can I make it better? How can I make it better? How can I make it productive? How can I do value added to it? This is all of what I'm hearing here. But the ordinary person can understand that if that language is blended down to a level of their appreciation. But when you say science, oh man, that's a subject we have problem with in school.
What is part of this project right now is to be able to repackage that, right?
Great.
Repackage that.
Okay.
And one of the ways how STEM goes about its business is not really to talk about, not to call things science, or to call it technology, or to call it mathematics, or to call it engineering. They ask you to identify a problem, right? What is it that you want to do? Darius, for example, I was on my way here, I stopped at the gas station, and I was having a cup of coffee, and the lady was telling me that they sell two types of meat pies, one from Darius and one from Ladyville, right? And what they are noticing is that the Darius meat pie that was traditionally the dominant meat pie, right? The dominant meat pie is losing its grip, especially on the younger population. So for us now that becomes a problem, right? What can we do to work with that particular company, right? In order for them to find out why is it that people like the meat pie that Darius, when Darius was alive, used to make, and the one that they're making now is not as attractive, right? And what can we do to help them to get back their market share of the thing? So we're going to have to use science, we're going to have to use technology, because we're going to have to analyze what it is that they're doing now compared to what they used to do in order to help them to. So that is our approach right now. Let's start with a problem and forget the label, right? The science label and the mathematics. We want to solve this problem. What is it that we have to do in order to solve this problem?
So could it be that, for example, those kids back at Valley of Peace may be turning, making transformation of these basic products without necessarily being good at science or maths or any of that?
Kind of value.
Yeah.
Right?
Can it be? You understand my question? Is
yes.
You know,
yes.
In other words, if I go through first understanding these words,
but they don't have to. They don't have to be good at science or maths. What they have to be good is to
innovate.
Yeah. And they need to do whatever it is that they can, right? To innovate. Like, for example, when they were designing the label for this thing, right? They had to go on the internet to find out what are some of the labels associated with coffee. They had to understand copyright laws, what they can do, what they cannot do. They use AI to help them to generate innovative kind of designs and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that is the approach that we are that we are in fact taking now, and we are hoping that more of our young people will pursue STEM-related education, right? And persist in going on to STEM careers, going on to STEM careers.
Well, let me then ask you, and I think we had just broached the idea when you were here the last time, about the new school that has just opened there on the ITVET compound, which is a very innovative idea.
It the ITVET compound.
Second time.
You know that it's Belize Technical College.
Oh boy, will take me back in my old days. But
that's this building right here.
I know exactly. But you know, that was such a controversy. You know, I'm not going into that. That became political in a way, because most people wanted us to maintain it as the Belize Technical College, which is where it was at its high point. But when it was transformed into this,
nothing that we have done to replace that.
No,
nothing that we have done.
And many of you educators, you criticize the whole move.
My friend, right now, well, I was a part of the integration of it into the university, so I am equally guilty. Guilty of that.
I'm glad you're doing that, because I make you guilty just now.
Right. My friend at Escuela Secundaria Mexico, Dr. Hilario Torres, is now saying that, well, look, we need
something like that again.
So he is committed to transforming Escuela Secundaria Mexico into a technical university in the next 4 years.
Excellent.
Next 4 years. And we at Galen are of course very supportive of that, right? And we have already put together a proposal to train the teachers that would function in such a facility.
Yes.
And that proposal is in.
Well, don't let me lose my trend, because in fact, yes, there's a whole argument about why we should in fact return to a technical institute. I remember the person who used to make the most noise in my remembrance was Bill Lindo, saying that we're extracting the possibilities of engineers and others that would have been coming out, because many great engineers came out of this institution.
As a matter of fact, if you wanted to become an engineer in Belize, you had to go there.
Had to go. So now we watered it down to what goes on at UB, and it has not been the same. We won't go into that conversation. I want to go back to this innovative idea of starting a STEM
academy there.
But here's the question I'm really asking you, Dr. Barrow, is that, look, I don't know, because, well, I haven't been there long enough, but just from my visit, I didn't get the instinct, the idea that the approach there was, look, we want to make you innovative. We want you to be able to approach the raw, put the value added, and make something else different than what this was. I get the intent, I get the sense that they are perfecting you in the science, technology, engineering, and upping your maths at an early age so that you can function in a more technical environment. But what I hear from you is that you could function in a good business environment with this innovative idea, this innovative. You could be in sports with this type of approach. In other words, you are introducing to us here an approach to education as opposed to a strictly rigid science technology.
That is correct. That is correct. We tried that and it hasn't worked.
All right. Okay.
It has not worked. We have been unsuccessful in doing that, right? The business curriculum has been a lot more successful. And my good friend like Sylvia Catus, and she's not doing too well right now.
Oh yes, yeah. That's a wonderful.
Spent all her life in terms of developing a good, strong business curriculum in this country, right? Have been able to attract more people. Osman Martinez found out that of all the people who were working in the public sector who had associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, and master's degrees, 84% of them had degrees in a business-related field.
Business,
right?
Yeah.
Business-related field. So they have been very, very successful in marketing that curriculum, right? In accounting, in marketing, in international studies, in economics, and that type of thing. But we want to do the same thing in this STEM-related
area. But wouldn't you say that the approach to business, because we've had conversation about this likewise, is because there was a market? In fact, I think we brought it up with Dickie yesterday, that in fact there is a market for business, and so when you go into the educational arena, like you say, 80% of what people are being taught is how to function in business. So social work, talk about law, but social work, education, and many of these other very important sciences that we need to have, we're dragging behind because we're preparing to go become a clerk in some business. The BPO is pulling up a lot of people.
Yes.
So going back then, my brother, is using this approach, it seems to me, is not only for students, but even more so for training teachers who have to have a different approach by which they are going to be utilizing.
That is correct.
Making our children thinkers.
That is correct. That is
all right, I wanted you to hold on. We'll take our break. You don't mind opening the phone lines at the end?
I don't mind opening the phone lines, but just before we go,
all right.
Christina Cook is the lady at that It's at Academy.
Right.
And I think, Nuri, you ought to have her in. To try and find out what exactly is she trying to do.
Yes.
Because she's really trying to do this thing that we are talking about, right? But it may not be coming across in that particular way.
Well,
so it would be good to
You're right. Well, and she was kind enough to invite me to come and to address her students. I was impressed with that visit. And I'm going to look about trying to get her to come on the show.
That facility cost $35 million.
Man, and it is...
It was a fantastic... It was built in Belize
City. Excellent. I don't know if we pass...
It was built in Belize
People
City,
pass
right?
that and they don't stop in. I would advise you to stop in and just take a little quick tour in that area. It's well organized, well disciplined. I mean, you don't see any kind of hangout kind of business there. It's an excellent idea. Well, let's stop for a minute. We'll come back and we'll continue because I want to go into AI, I want to go into robotics, and I want to get your general feel about where we are going in terms of our development in general. Okay. So we take a stop.
This is a learning experience, and this event is all about you guys. Give it a chance. Maybe a competition you partake in sparks a passion in you never knew you had. I had no idea how much I love coding until I actually explored it. We need more girls in IT.
In Belize, analysis supported by UNICEF highlights that girls between 15 and 24 use computers less frequently than boys. Regardless of whether they live in urban or rural areas, regardless of their family situation, their economic situation, or even their level of education. This gap matters because digital access today determines opportunities for tomorrow.
Be Like a Girl was never just about technology. It was about creating a space where girls can see themselves differently, where they can realize they don't have to shrink to fit into spaces. They can grow and transform them, where they understand that they are not just users of technology, but creators, innovators, and leaders.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
right, interesting conversation with Dr. Dorian Burrell. He's from the Galen University. He's the director of their program in STEM, AI, as well as robotics. And we've just spent some time looking at the application of this concept of STEM, which is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I understand that because they recognize the value of art, that they have added another word to it now. So it's now
STEAM.
So it's now become STEAM, and I hope it has enough steam to push through. Anyway, can we move on from there to another interesting topic, which I understand that Mose was dealing with a little earlier this week, and it's this phenomena, if we could call it that, called AI, artificial intelligence. And being able to apply that in a way that it doesn't become just an extension of the same Facebook mentality. I just put down some simple questions to get some simple answers. How can I then be able to use this very advanced in technology, AI, to be able to benefit myself individually, but also collectively within our society itself? How could we use it?
That's a very, very, very good question. It's something that we grappled with for about 2 or 3 years at Galen, and we came up with an AI policy. The region was ahead of us, so CARICOM had developed an AI policy. And so we used that as a template and one from a university in Cyprus in order to come up with our AI policy. What we are doing, we are embracing AI. We are saying that this technology is here and it's the technology of the future, right? Technology of the future. Nuri, you know what they're doing now? They're taking the voice of Ray Charles, Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, right? Curtis Mayfield. And they're making a new voice that is a combination of those. Right? And so you hear the songs and you hear a little bit of Otis there, and then you hear a little bit of Curtis Mayfield there, right? Yeah. And they're also using AI to strengthen the lyrics, sometimes to rewrite lyrics. And a lot of the times what they're in fact doing is all unpublished materials. They are now having people doing. So when you sent me that thing with Dalton, that was what I was hearing, right? That was what I was hearing.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
AI is a type of algorithm, a type of programming, right? Where you can get a machine, right, to find out patterns for you. AI is like a pattern calculator, really, right, to find out patterns for you. So they have found Ray Charles's voice pattern, Otis Redding's voice pattern, Aretha Franklin's voice pattern, and they have combined them to create something new, right? That is neither any of those people, right? But it's like the best of them, right? And that is what we are trying to get our students to be able to do, to use AI in what we call an appropriate and an ethical way, right? One, you could do what you were talking about, what we have are levels, and you could do what we are talking about, what you were talking about, where you just get the AI to do the work for you. Write me an essay on this or something like that, right?
Which is the way it's being used primarily in the educational field.
Yes.
And how do you guys detect that?
Well, several things, and this is where a policy comes in, right? Because the AI, what they call it, hallucinates. It makes up things.
Yes, it does.
It makes up things.
And give some facts.
Yes, a student submitted a paper to me. I was teaching a research course. A student submitted a paper to me. And in the reference, they had the Belize Curriculum Journal. And they had volume, number, and page. Belize Curriculum Journal. And I said, what? I never knew something like this. So I went to the people who registered journals, talked to some of my colleagues. This was something that the AI algorithm had made up. Literally made up.
Incredible.
So it first involves AI literacy. What is this thing about? What are some of the limitations? What are some of the ways in which you could use it? Right? And we say that you could use it in 3 basic ways, right? One, if you don't have an idea about something, you can ask the AI to suggest what you could explore, and then you then go and do the exploration, right?
So it's a helper.
It's a helper.
You don't
depend on always the human control. We don't want to lose the human control. There are certain things where we're saying that you can't get AI to do for you. Moral and ethical issues, you can't get them to answer that for you, that you have to answer that yourself. The other way how you can use it, we are saying, is that if you have produced a story, let's say your newsroom, for example, have produced a story, right? You can ask the AI to help you to improve on the quality of that particular story, right? Style, rearrangement, and what we are saying that when you use it in that way, you have to show us what prompt you gave the AI, right? What the AI gave you back, right? And what you accepted and what you didn't accept.
So we'll take your paper, but we also want accompanying your paper is your raw material.
Yes, your original prompt, right? Your original prompt, right? So that is the second way. The third important way of using it has to do with getting it to fact check for you, right? Getting it to fact check for you, right? For example, in preparing to come here, I was looking at some statistics based on the 2010 and the 2024 census, right? And I was getting some conflicting numbers. And so I asked the algorithm if they could check this out for me, right? And help me to establish what the real situation is, right? In terms of age and poverty, right? My basic question was, which age group are the poorest in Belize, right? And I was getting one saying this number and the other one saying another number, and then we got AI to kind of reconcile that, right? Saying that the poorest people in Belize are 15 years old and younger. Wow. 15 years old and younger. By Belizean standards, the best off people economically in Belize are between the ages of 25 and 54.
Wow.
Right.
That's a large.
So you have a gap, Nuri. The 16-year-olds to the 24-year-olds, right? Where are they, right? Where are they? And I suspect that they may be among the poorest also, right? That particular age group. So if you want to do something, any intervention, it seems to me that is the age group that we need to target. Because once they're 16 years old, right, they no longer have to go to school. We now have a law which says that you have to be 16 years old to leave school. So there have been considerable investment in that area for them in terms of education, because education is an important tool.
It's the key
to help you to come out of poverty.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that, what do we then do with the 17 to 24-year-old? They're not in school. They don't have a job. They don't have any identifiable skill, right? They don't have any identifiable skill. No, they don't. They don't. I was in the neighborhood the other day talking to a kid, must have been 19 years old, and I asked him, if you have a job? He said, no. So I asked him what he can do. He says, I can juggle weed. He said, I can do that, I can do that. But they didn't have an identifiable skill. So to me, that is the age group that we have to target, which means, from my perspective, is that we have to ask the secondary schools to begin online secondary education. Because a lot of them will not actually go back to no school physically, right?
Yeah.
But they would access it from home, from their communities and that type of thing. Where they can complete their high school education, right? And help them to make the transition to whatever else that they want to do.
Well, you're bringing, you know, and this is why it's so good to talk to you, because, you know, I can't even get to my second and third question because you're right up there with information. But you bring another idea to mind, and that is online education and access.
Yes.
Because this thing about coming up with money, paying schools, etc., or maybe not finishing high school when you were young, but wanting to go back when you're 20 or 22 years old, you can't get in no secondary school, but you can do it online. So now you know the kind of work that has been done by Ms. Ponello Ms. Etnelda in Belmopan, which has been graduating a number of students, many of them who were not able for whatever reason.
That is correct.
And one of the most innovative is within the prison system, where we find a lot of these youths, because of lack of education, they fell where they fell. But now Kaina I should say, have offered a platform for them. So I'm asking you now,
there's another school in Orange Walk
doing the same thing.
That we need to do so. And
excellent.
Just recently, a school in Sokot, a high school in Sokot, called the Something Young. It's a Nazarene school. Sokot have started.
Excellent.
Online education.
Excellent. But here's my question: having been the permanent secretary or the CEO in the Ministry of Education, where is the reluctance on the part of government to see that what Ms. Etnelda has been doing for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, why haven't they invested in that to ensure that that goes far beyond just the small cohort that she deals with yearly? It's only, to my mind, it's only a matter of investment, because the knowledge is there, the professionals are there to share the knowledge. All you need is the resources to expand it so it's broader. Your professional opinion as to why, what's the reluctance?
The problem is bureaucratic.
Okay.
Right? It's a bureaucratic issue, right?
But we got an innovative Minister of Education.
We have to, right?
Yeah.
We have a very innovative Minister of Education, right? And we have a very innovative CEO in the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
Right? But the technical people,
it stops there.
Who make things happen. I'll give you an example right now. The school in Sokot, right, is saying that how the reason why they took so long to start this program was because the technical people at the ministry were saying that how this program has to be 4 years, right? And he's saying, well, look, why does it have to be 4 years? For some people, it can only be a year, right? For some people, some of the things that you were supposed to learn, they have learned elsewhere, right? So why don't we make it about standards, right? You have to, like what they do in the United States in terms of their high school equivalency exam, right?
Yes.
And if it takes you 4 years to get there, well, it takes you, well, it will take somebody longer sometimes. But if it can take you 2 years to get there, right? So I think a lot of it, or the most significant part of it, is the bureaucratic part of it, right? Bureaucratic part of it. Schools now cannot operate without approval from the Ministry of Education, right?
You mean you can't get accredited without them sanctioning you?
You can't get funding from them.
Yeah, funding too.
Right.
Yeah.
The ministry have now taken on the job of paying teachers. So if you don't meet the standards, they don't have to pay your teacher. Right? And if the initiative is not subsidized in those kinds of ways, it becomes prohibitive for the
people who are trying to do it.
For the people who are trying to in fact do it. I think that more pressure needs to be brought to bear on at the technical level in the Ministry of Education, right? Through the politicians. Francis Fonseca or current ministry, I think would go along with that. Would go along with that. Once we start.
But where does it start? I mean, who busts the bubble? I mean, who wants to start that round? All right. Okay. Good.
Me and you have to start it.
All right. So this conversation could add to that.
Yes.
Very much so. Okay. Well, let me throw something else then. Why is it that we are still seeing in 2026 our young children with these huge bags on their back, almost causing, I understand it causes female problems for those young girls likewise, the heavy back because they got these big books that they are required to take into the classroom, when over 20 years ago, St. Francis was innovating the idea of tablet for each child, so that all the child really needs to take to school is the tablet, because all the textbook material is there. What happened to that? 20 years later, we still see the picnic and walking with these big, heavy books on their back.
Bert, sorry, Nuri?
Yeah. Only few people could say that, you know, because me, I go way back to George Street. So
I apologize, because I remember our neutral friend K Mustafa Toure. I was the only one who could use the K. I apologize for that.
That's
but
right.
Nuri, the thing about that is that we have to realize that the world now is realizing that learning from a computer screen, right? How much you learn, how much you remember, the depth at which you learn, right, is significantly less.
And when you read the book,
if you took J. Alexander Bennett book and read it from page to page. So you have some countries now, right? Finland, right?
Going back to the books.
Banning the screen, right? Going back to the books.
Is it because of the distraction that is on the screen, or is it because they realize reading off the screen is limited?
No, it's a distraction.
Because of distraction. But don't we have the technology to, I think they do in China, they can block out anything that is not what they want you to have. So why is Europe?
But then it becomes competitive, right? The kids, they find ways of getting around it, right? But what the theory is, Nuri, is that we operate like a computer in a way, where we have RAM memory and we have storage memory, right? Or RAM memory is limited, right? Or RAM memory is limited. So there are so many stimulus coming at us that what the brain has to do is to focus on specific things, right? Like you would want them to just focus on that screen, not on anything that's on the side, an advertisement, a bling that says that a traffic accident has happened and they want to go and see what is happening.
Yeah.
You want them to kind of focus on that. What that does is to overload the RAM memory, right? And you don't spend enough concentrated time on what is it that you learn. So those book bags, right? Those book bags might begin to have their place again.
So you might bring back?
Yes,
all right.
I think so.
So all you book importers, you don't have to worry. Look like you'll still be able to import.
Well, we want some book publishers too. I was glad that J. Alexander Bennett was the Angelos Press publisher.
Yes, which is good. Doctor, we have to take another break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines.
And just a little plug here. I mean, Amandala is a publication house, right? You guys have to get in the book publishing
We
business.
should start publishing, especially booklets, taking a lot of the speeches, extracting from a mandala, the number of editorials and publishers and other articles that can be compressed, put into booklet, printed, and put out there on the street. You're absolutely right.
Correct.
We'll take another break and we'll be right
Alex
back.
Hyde have been writing an essay at least.
When the job demands more, Milwaukee Power Tools are designed to handle the toughest jobs on the construction site. If it's speed, durability, and performance you need, Milwaukee is the perfect choice. For unstoppable power at an unbeatable price, make it Milwaukee. Nothing but heavy duty. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
This is a learning experience, and this event is all about you guys. Give it a chance. Maybe a competition you partake in sparks a passion in you never knew you had. I had no idea how much I love coding until I actually explored it. We need more girls in IT.
In Belize, analysis supported by UNICEF highlights that girls between 15 and 24 use computers less frequently than boys. Regardless of whether they live in urban or rural areas, regardless of their family situation, their economic situation, or even their level of education. This gap matters because digital access today determines opportunities for tomorrow.
Be Like a Girl was never just about technology. It was about creating a space where girls can see themselves differently, where they can realize they don't have to shrink to fit into spaces. They can grow and transform them, where they understand that they are not just users of technology, but creators, innovators, and leaders.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
This time, what can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you out right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Back. We're opening up the phone lines now for Dr. Dorian Barrow, and it's been a very interesting and innovative conversation. In fact, it's a kind of a STEM-related conversation here, because we've been innovating, haven't we?
Yes.
So our number here is 280-5848. Please, if you have any questions on this area that we've been discussing, or any other question relevant to education, and I want to make sure that we also touch on robotics, because again, I'll tell you my concern. I know that there's a part of the world that is already moving into replacement of workers by more efficient machines that can work all night long and you don't have to take lunch. So we understand the economic benefits of something like that. But we've also seen our children building robots, competing robots, etc., etc. Unfortunately, this in a way has become elitist, as is in many parts of our education, because it's not affordable for certain people. Welcome, caller.
Brother Nuri.
Yes, welcome, Mr. Calmo.
Are we talking about the hospital?
No, we're not talking about the hospital. We're talking about education, and we're talking about more effective ways to prepare our people in this changing world. And we have in studio Dr. Barrow, who is head of the STEM AI robotics program at Galen University, and he's been sharing how that thing applies to Belize. You could probably go to hospital with it, but we weren't in the hospital on this conversation. So what you want to ask?
Well, Brother Nuri, I really want to discuss something, yes, but I wanted to say that, hello?
Yes, man, we're there.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the KHMH has been doing such an excellent job. I don't know if they are feeding them, hello,
yes,
manners, or what they are feeding them, because when you got it 10 years ago, the attitude, the behavior, man, I go to the KHMH today and I'm frightened. I'm thinking I'm going to die today. These people are too nice to me. It's like the police department. They are really too nice. When they say, how's your day going, sir? The police, you know, you had a good day, sir. Man, they're scaring me, but I like it. But Mr. Barrow said it is
yes,
from the
yes,
university.
Yes.
And the UB, you said?
Yes, UB, you know, Galen University.
Oh, Galen University.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, Mr. Barrow, you know, I am not a social scientist or whatever, you know, but I am a person who watch things. I pay attention to the little details that most people don't pay attention to. And I've noticed in the last 15 years, let's just put it 15, whenever I see a graduation, a scholarship program, a promotion of people to do something, I see people taking classes. I count the people who look like me. And when I say look like me, have the dark melanin skin like me. You know that
black people.
Well, I want to say black people then. Make I put it the roughest way I could.
No. That's the first thing that we have to start with, right?
Stop afraid to say black man.
What I've noticed over the years, Mr. Barrow, Dr. Barrow, is this a real doctor? This is not like the doctor where we got to say that Dr. Barrow to an honorary. Anyway.
No, this is an honorary doctor. This is academically qualified doctor.
Back to the point.
Yeah.
The point is that I've noticed over the years that the color of people who look like me are thinning out. Like I could count 5 black people, 3 in this class, 8 in this class, at 25. I mean, hello?
Yes, man.
Yeah, I count it and I look at it. I see scholarship programs where BTL only gave away like 11 scholarships to people who look like me. Now, I don't have a problem with that. I will tell you why I don't have a problem with that. All my kids are for Hispanic women, so they will blend right in. They probably will get the scholarship. But for the people who really deaf black, I don't know if they don't want to go to the class, if they're not paying attention in school, if they're just, I don't know what it is. But why my color not up the more makes me question and say, I wonder why there was so many Hispanic children, Indian or whatever, but mines weren't there. You understand me?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what the thing is about that. I don't know, but I've noticed that when I look at any program where I could see zoom in, I am looking at, the other day I was very pleasantly surprised when they did the women in coded thing, because then I saw myself a lot, but this was all females. When it came to all females, there were a lot of black females there, which made me feel extremely proud. But when it comes to complete black males and females, I am not seeing myself, young men.
I got you.
numbers.
We got you, Kalimo. Thank you very much.
All right, that's all. I'll leave you make your continue.
All right, good.
All right.
Well, I think I get your point because he might not necessarily specifically be focusing, but I would also
No,
want
but
you
that's,
to comment.
that's an important
Very
issue
important.
on black men in schools.
Yes.
We have to get more black men in schools. So over the weekend at the agricultural fair we were targeting black men, right? Targeting black men. We're saying that you could come, and if you don't have a high school, we're going to connect you to one of these online high schools so that you could pre-qualify. If you qualify, then these are the programs that we think that you should participate in. One of them is cybersecurity, right? The other one is computer science. The third one is veterinary technology, right? We need more black men to come back to school, and we would like them to choose STEM careers. But regardless of which career they choose, we want more black men to come back to school, right? We want them, and we just have to work with them, right? Find out where they are, right? And get them interested.
Educationally, why did we lose our black boys? Because it's not a recent trend. It's looking over the last 20 odd years.
I think part of it, if you notice, you talk about 20 odd years.
It's more than that.
Technical was integrated. Technical disappeared, right? Actually 26 years ago.
Yeah.
And technical was a place that black males went to, right? Females went there too, but black males went too. I think that has something to do with it. The fact that we just have a limited number of technical high schools in the country, right? Very limited number. We have one in Georgetown, right? We have one in Orange Walk, right? And we have one, I think, in Coruscant. Right? 3 technical high schools.
But I wonder if this is as much an issue of the kind of education as much as it is what has been happening to cause young black boys to not finish even primary school. And you know what the statistics say, that our young girls, especially after secondary school, seem to go on further than our boys.
That is correct.
So that when we look in the prison system, for example, over the last 25, 30 years, exponentially, it has increased with males. When
black
we look,
males too,
disproportionately. This is what I'm saying. And when we look in the university, we see the growth of young women in there. But beyond that, what Kalimo is saying is we're also seeing that ethnically, that the boys that are dropping out of school rapidly are black boys. The persons that are getting opportunities for employment are non-black boys. And so when you look in the optics of some of these positions that government are setting people in, that's what Kalimo is saying.
But
it is search to try find
even the private sector.
No, it is a general. So does it have only to do with the qualification process?
I went to an auto parts store the other day in Belize City, right? And 90% of the employees there were
non-black.
Non-black.
Yeah, non-black. New Belizeans, and we're not a prejudice them, but the fact is, the reality is that we're not seeing black boys.
No, we have to put that in perspective too, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that we have to take into consideration is that we're a multicultural society, right? We have to accept that we're not just black people here, right? You have Maya people, you have Mestizo people, you have East Indian people, right? You have Garifuna people, you have Creole people.
But I don't think that's the argument. Because 30, 40 years ago, I remember Maya was saying, we not in the picture at all. Something have to be done to improve that. And what we've seen over the last 30, 40 years is that coming up of Maya from out of that isolation. Now it seems as though the same argument can be made to a specific cohort of young black boys.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But I'm saying that we have to realize that we are living in a multicultural society,
Okay.
and the center of gravity of poverty have shifted. At one time, the most poor district was Toledo.
Was the Maya, yeah.
Right? Right now, the poorest district in Belize is Corozal.
Yeah.
A lot of the people from Corozal, most of them mestizos, have to move out of Corozal to come and find work where work is.
Well,
right?
yeah. Here's another question for you. Sorry to. Yeah, welcome, caller.
Brother Nuri.
Yeah, man.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with prejudice, and this has nothing to do with me singling out anybody.
No.
I, as a black man, is wondering, and Dr. Barrow brought up technical. I don't know if Dr. Barrow knew my uncle, Mr. Cuthbert Burrell.
Of course.
Mr. Burrell was not an easy teacher. Mr. Burrell was a tough as nails. So I feel I had a technical education, not in the classroom, but technically with my hands with Mr. Burrell. Mr. Burrell refined me. Now, if you say the name Cuthbert Burrell, most people go, that man was tough.
He
but
was.
If you meet the people who studied under him today,
They're all
talking
excellent.
about black men,
Yeah.
they are glad they went under his wings.
Absolutely.
They're happy. They say, man, I met Francis Canto, for example. He said, boy, that man tough. We don't puncture the bike. We don't do all kind of things. The man does mean it. He buy one coke, he mix it in a half. But they learn from that black man. And
Yeah.
I grew up in a family of black people. And at a certain age, I realized, why am I being a knucklehead on the street when my people, the Johnsons, the Collymores, these are not dumb people on the street going to prison. I am the only one doing it, and I had to make a difficult choice. Now, I did get in a lot of trouble, but I had to choose. Do I want to live in prison? I went to prison, Brother Nuri, and I'll tell you something. I realized that I am at a higher level of most of the people in there. What am I doing along there? I have to sleep in one bed, one room with 10 men. Then I can't use the bathroom with sort of people, Brother Nuri. The only reason why I don't go to prison is because they won't allow me to build my own building. But if I could build I would be in prison right now. I would be mixing. You know, the prison today has no cement block, and you have thousands of men in there. That's free labor. And the prison, I'm going to call them right after I call you, and I'm going to give them 3/4 of my mind, not a quarter, because I've been waiting for cement block from September from the prison.
Yeah.
You see, we'll make a gun after people.
Yeah, I know. Our time is limited too, Brother Collymore.
Brother Nuri,
Yeah.
the school, technical, Belize Technical College, there was technical, there was Tech. We had technical things we did at school.
Yeah.
We had to go to the center.
Yeah.
We were physically taught, hands-on.
I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put it that.
For some reason, everybody decided everybody has to go to school and educated. We don't need hands-on anymore. Again, brother.
All right, good. He's bringing the same. We're pretty much. We started off by pointing out the fact that we need to revamp how we're approaching these subjects such as STEM, etc. But we also have been able to incorporate the fact of why we find sections of our population unqualified to move forward. And I think you've identified it's not only the issue of STEM and finding more innovative approaches to STEM, but it also has to do with a number of other factors that create why we're not seeing certain sectors of our population not only not qualified in STEM, but not qualified even to hold decent jobs. We don't want to have people where, when you look upon we only can be at certain, we can't be more than prison guard, we can't be more than police, we can't be more than BDF, we can't be more than Coast Guard. And then when you start moving up into the technical area, when you start moving further up into management areas, you see a lessening of that particular color. So the dynamics is very easy for you to look at, but how do we address that? And that I think that's the challenge that I think we want to leave with this morning. That overall challenge of addressing the issues not only from the position of these new levels of STEM and robotics, etc., but the general issue that we have of improving our educational system. You'd have fished from river bottom. You're not a speculative person from outside. You've been there. You've gone through this thing. Huh?
I've been there.
And when you you
have been there too.
You're born poor and build yourself up to where you are now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you have been working with this population for at least 30 years.
Yeah, it's been more like 40 odd years. Yeah.
40 odd years.
Yeah.
What is your assessment of where we are with these disadvantaged, marginalized black people? What's your assessment?
My assessment is multiple, clearly, because it's not a simple answer when you're dealing with, as you said, it is complex. But there are certain salient issues there that you cannot get rid of. One is that our educational system, in my opinion, has to really be not totally revamped, but tweaked to be able to focus on areas of specific needs. If we're dealing with these youths that I have been dealing with, there's a need for investment in not only education, and I'm not talking about just setting them back in a classroom, but practical ways in which you can generate income. And we have seen in the world today that you can teach people innovative ways, invest in them, and they can create products. I love the fact that you're showing this idea of innovation, because my approach is that education can be taught in a way that make people more creative, as opposed to saying, we only want to accept you when you don't get your high school degree. No, there are ways which I can show you that you can make money even without sitting in a classroom, but you have to pay attention and be willing to work. That can be done through specialized institutions. We had run a very, very, very successful program called YEA.
Yes.
Where we took many of these same...
What happened with that? That was a good program.
I am saying, Dr. Barrow, that government has a lot to answer for. Now, I'm not blaming them only in the sense of personal reasons why they were doing it, but not paying attention. For example, if you were going to say over 30 odd years ago, and you were there, that we are dealing with a special group of young men here who have been giving us trouble. We have looked through the analysis of these young men, and we've been able to see where their problems are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set up specialized program to address them. One of the first ones that you know about was CYDP.
Yes.
Very, very effective program in the sense that it went at the base and got the confidence of those youths to invest their time and effort. It had persons who were dedicated to be able to put their efforts also into guiding that program. Where was the problem? The problem was at the administrative top, the government top, not being able to understand what that program really was about, and the fact that that was not a political program, that if you want to solve a problem like that, you have to give it 20 years. There are programs very similar to that in Peru. There are programs very similar to in Bolivia that started 20 years ago, just at around the same time that CYDP started. They have gotten engineers coming out of it, businessmen coming out of it, etc., because you have to take time to transform how people think at this level to how you want them to think at another level. So you're asking me the question, how do we do it? We need these specialized programs. YEA was such a program. It went and took all the first-time offenders. This is before a boy get 3, 4, 5, 6 charges put on him. He's just made his first mistake. You don't put him in the prison population, you put him into a specialized program, and you have the kind of personnel that is not just prison officers mining these guys, but these are qualified, trained persons knowing the clientele that they're dealing with, and you're investing the kind of time and the resources in them, and you see what comes out of it. YEA proved that that could happen. What happened again? Politics. One party came in and said, well, that Dean Barrow program, and we don't want no Dean Barrow program yet. And so a snap decision was made, kill YEA just like that. Kill CYDP just like that. So what have we done? Now, 30 odd years later, we've started LIU. What is LIU? LIU is CYDP and YEA by another name. Why? Because it's the same program. It's the same group of youths. And no way to deal with, because I'm old at where I am now, I had to deal with their grandson. Boys, why I to deal with back the 30 odd years ago when me done got picnic, and now them picnic grew up and got their own picnic. Now I'm looking at 14-year-old, boy, grandpa used to be somebody I was dealing with 30 odd years ago. What is this? You've heard of Sisyphus, who pushes the stone all the way up, drop it, come all the way down, when you start all over. That's what we've been doing. And it's very frustrating, because people want to look on and say, you know what you're going to do that failure? What we were doing was never taken all the way to its fullest. It was stopped in the middle, and we were saying, chow, that's a PUP thing, man. Youth for the Future got recognized in the world as the best program of its kind in the Commonwealth. Saeed Musa received a award where he sent me to Australia to pick up that award for Youth for the Future. Soon as the next party come in, we don't want no Youth for the Future. They had an apprenticeship program, which was producing at least a program to prepare and to give these youths an opportunity. Government come in, where the apprenticeship program there? So you ask me what really is the problem. I would say the problem is a political problem. A lack of vision to say this is what we want. I have to give credit to Saeed Musa, and I have to give credit to Dean Barrow likewise, because both of them appeared that they wanted this thing to last and did not want this thing to just be a little stopgap. But politics overtakes everything here. And I'm glad you asked, though, because indeed, if we're going to solve these problems, we're going to have some very hard and tough conversation. And I'm willing to be criticized, because I was there at the base. I made errors. I made choices that may have been errors. But I think we made more good choices than the errors. And we have seen more successes. I walk down the street now and meet guys who are YEA, who are fathers, who are working very well. I met one who worked for Benny's, and he said, Brother Nuri, when I come out of YEA 20 odd years ago, I got a job at Benny's, and I am still working at Benny's today, have my own house in Belmopan. So we have many successes to show that it wasn't a blind program. It wasn't just put one program together and make it go. Yes, we're gonna close the program now. But what I'm saying, and I'm glad that you threw that in my court, because in fact, am I just asking you questions and I don't know where they talk, but I know very much why they talk. But when I ask you a question, I know because I don't know the answers, but it's because I'm trying to pull out of you the same answers that we've been consistently trying to put here. And that is, stop the think that them boy out there are good for nothing, all of them alone, bad boy, you know. If you got one decent daughter, you know why your daughter they wrong them boy there because them boy alone. You understand me? And look on the Spanish boy here. That's the way I want my daughter married to somebody. Oh, they're Chinese boy, or them Mennonite boy, but don't make them marry them black boy down there because they want to haul your daughter all the way down. Dorian, that's the kind of conversation you hear some of the people talk. And it's looking very, very bad in the image of these young black boys, because these young black boys are very talented, innovative, very hard workers, and all they need is to be placed in an environment that will stimulate them. The environment that presently exists now with the educational system does not do that. It does not stimulate, it does not motivate, it does not innovate. And so what we have are boys who are just going through the process till they get bored. And then when you talk about the fact that you met a boy who said, well, the only thing he could do that turn over weed, that's the very unfortunate thing about it, is because there's a market for weed and there's an empty crocus bag here, and he got an opportunity now to be able to carry home something, and you to tell her, I want to put you in a jail if you ever do that. Now he have to decide, well, how am I risk this thing because I have to carry home something. This is the only opportunity. And this is what businessmen do. Businessmen look at opportunities and see, well, what is the best way for me to be able to do this for me?
They call it risk analysis.
So why is it that it's all right to do it? Yeah. But when you see them, why they do the same thing for survival, oh, they want crime, and they're evil, and they're alone drug users, and that's what we need to lock up their ass and send them somewhere else. That is the problem is at a higher level than just this level down here. I'm sorry you get me started with this thing here, but this is some of the challenges that we face in trying to address this problem of the criminal element. Now, there are some persons that are unreformable. There are a person there who, you could almost say, well, why these are our last cause. But out of every 10, it's only 2 of them that's like that. The other 8 are victim of circumstances. They don't even hear the information. They don't even know where to start. But that 2 there, no matter how much information you're getting, how much opportunities you're getting, they got bad seed. And we got bad seed in that group. But you can't paint the brush and say all 10 of them youth did a bad seed just because they end up in jail. Some of them boys, when they're in a jail, they are in jail as a victim of circumstances. And if you put them in the right, and this is what Murillo and his whole rehabilitation program is finding out, is that if you give some of these young men an opportunity to be out of that environment and into a new mental and spiritual environment, you get a different quality coming out of them altogether. So, these are not problems that can be solved in one day, or just 1 year. These are systemic, generational problems that required, firstly at the government level, that we are going to create a special program that will have a long life. When we signed up the YEA, it was Dean Barrow and Said Musa that met at the Marion Jones station, and they both publicly signed a document that politics was not going to get involved in the program. The politics closed down Youth for the Future. The same program that both parties said they were going to work together on, where's Youth for the Future today? So I'm saying that we all have to take responsibility to change the direction of these young males, and we are doing our part. I'm glad to know that you are doing yours at the Galen. I believe that there are many sincere persons that are doing this, and I think that government is just perhaps too occupied with the immediacy of their governance process to not have time to look at this problem of our youths involved in crime in a comprehensive way. Today, it's not being looked at as a comprehensive, it's still being looked at as a program, and it has to be moved out of a simple program that has a 5-year shelf life of a political life, and be able to say, if we're going to solve this generational problem, we've got to make it like the Guatemalan issue. No politics can be involved in this if we're going to make progress. Not to jump up and say, what the hell wrong with LIU, that are a waste of time, this government that do so and so on, which is the same thing they did. Waste of time with this Youth for the Few, waste of time with this CYDP and all these other programs. We cannot leave it to become political football. We've got to bring it up to a level where all parties involved say, look, this is a generation that we will lose. And so we have to be that serious in putting together the programs that will last over a generation in order for us to see something at the end. Anyway.
Well, Nuri.
My brother, I'll give you the last word.
Well, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. I'm glad I came. I'm hoping that this is the beginning of a conversation that we need to pursue to the end. Because we have to tackle some of these issues that we talked about. And at the top of my agenda is getting black men back in school. So I'm glad for this opportunity to have started this conversation with somebody who knows what that is about and how to do it. Thank you very much for
I thank you, and my brother, because you'd say I've got about 15 other questions here for you outside of STEM. So I want to ask you to give me a commitment that you'll come back, maybe in a couple of months, and we can further the conversation.
Well, just let me know.
All right, looking forward.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Dorian Burrow. We'll be back to close off the program.
Maria's was planned to open in 2020, and that's when COVID came. I thought the dream was dead. People would come to my house, they would purchase the coffees from there. That gave me the little confidence, like, okay, I could do this. Atlantic Bank, of course, helped me take the next step. Once I had their support, it was smooth sailing from there. This business is my life. It's literally what provides my family with food and employment. I employ 3 family members, so it's really everything for us.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
thank you very much for being with us today with our guests, both our guests, in fact, the performer who will be performing this Sunday, Etna, and she told me that the way I pronounce her name is the way her name should be pronounced. So I don't do it like how everybody else do it, because she told me that's the way her name should be, Etna. So welcome very much, sister. And you gave me cold seed today with that high-level a cappella that you did here in the studio. I want to thank Dorian Barrow also for his presence here. And clearly, this is an innovative thinker who is in charge of an innovative approach to education there with the STEM program. And we hope his success with what he's doing. I thank him for the book of a gift that he gave me, a book by a person that I admired greatly, Mr. Alexander Bennett. I used to sit down and have many conversations with him. This is called Education in Belize. It was published in 2008. And he quizzed me at the end, turned me into the guest to ask me what needs to be done to address the problems that we've been dealing with for so long. And so I thank him for that challenge, and I hope that my answer serves as an awareness for those who are interested in working with these youths. So we want to thank, downstairs we have Anthony Grant, upstairs we have Harlan Wagner, we have Mr. Clifton Lewis, as is usual, but most important, we have you, and you are callers, and you are listeners and our viewers, and we hope that you will join us again next Monday, when Most High will be here to continue the conversation of Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Thank you for being here. Assalamu alaikum.
Together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice so up in your not place.